Here we go for the start of the brand new season, season 34. Here come the lights, 4 lights and the 5th light. And it's pedal to the metal, and it is go, 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 and Thomas Ronnar leads the way, but what about Barry Burman? Inside line, he has the line, heading through towards turn 1. Brendan Lee also sticking his nose in, an outside view from Lucas Blakely as well, as they come through turns 2 and turns 3. It's Barry Burman who now leads, with Brendan Lee hot in behind him as well. There's Burman to the inside of turn 4. Thomas Ronnar also there as well, trying to fend off Lucas Blakely, as they now peel through the first sector now, but it's Barry Burman who leads at the start. Ronnar getting mugged, moves down to P4.
But there goes Rasmussen, goes by Wilson Hughes for the moment as we watch in the background here. Lucas Blakely though fancies a chance, trying to keep an eye on everything here, but Lee hangs on for the moment. Ronnar back on the attack now, and Lucas Blakely side by side towards turn number 3, side by side between the two contenders. Blakely on the inside, Ronnar on the outside on the mediums, tries to make it work on the outside line. Blakely leaves him just enough room to work with on the outside, and Ronnar goes through on the outside. Great move.
Well, as they make their way down the straight now, Brendan Lee breaking out of the slipstream of that of Barry Burman as they head down through towards turn 1. Brendan Lee makes the move, makes it stick, secures it as well. Freddie Rasmussen also looking to make moves too on Caraton as they run side by side through turn 1. It's Rasmussen on top here and certainly marches his way through the classification, the fastest man on track after nestling the fastest lap of the race the previous lap round.
Here up towards turn 1, but no, Burman just doing enough. He's going to swap places with Brendan Lee. He'll be back to the lead then for Barry Burman. Here comes Ronnar now, fancying his chances down the inside. Remember, these two came together before, and it's now Ronnar with the double move to the inside. Will now try to fend off Burman to the outside line here. Brendan Lee fancies a chance as well. Upmere's on the attack here. Here comes Jan Upmere. We're 3 wide towards turn 4. Burman's on the outside on the hard tires. Brendan Lee on the inside of the mediums. Ronnar's in the middle as well. 3 wide we go. Still 3 wide with Upmere on the outside, heading towards turn 5. They sort themselves out, and somehow Burman has come through that in front of all of them. Blakely's back down the inside of the two of them. Blakely on the inside of Upmere. Upmere back around the outside of Brendan Lee. Remember, these two fought for the title before as well, but it's Burman who's still in the lead here after that crazy exchange. It's still Burman, Ronnar, Lee, Upmere and Blakely. That's brought everybody into play right now, including Freddie Rasmussen. Already, here comes Ronnar on Brendan Lee for the race. They'll swap positions. Will Burman fancy a chance here? Lee goes defensive. Burman has a look on the inside in towards turn 1. Opens the steering, runs Lee out of room on the way through turn 2. And through he goes. Now Upmere might get a chance at the switchback here because Blakely with the double overtake. Opportunistic as you like. That is wonderful from the reigning F1 Esports champion. Sensed it, got it through, and is now P3.
Jarno Upmere also looking to make moves as well as Alfie Butcher, who also looks to make a move too. Jarno Upmere now looking to defend against Brendan Lee. Side by side they remain now. Lee trying to hug the inside. That'll become the outside, and Upmere now retaining P4. Yeah, and of course Fabrizio Donoso, former race winner in PSGL, and would very much like to take himself back to the top as well. Into the pit lane comes Brendan Lee. Interesting call, lap 10. In comes the box already for the man on the medium tyres. Now they can generally, I think, go a little bit longer than that. There's more cars coming into the pit lane now, and that's Thomas Ronnar choosing to come into box as well. So there we go, big changes already at Alfa Romeo, who are now looking to pit early. Lucas Blakely having a look for the lead on his former teammate Barry Burman, who still leads this race now here in lap 11 of 29. Jarno Upmere now in 3rd, Donoso in 4th as well, also having a good race. I tell you what, Jack, this offers every chance of being a classic. Here comes Blakely now, inside line, takes the lead away from his teammate from last season. Barry Burman reduced to 2nd, and now as they storm through the middle sector here in lap 11, it's Blakely on top. Now let's see where Ronnar is. There you can see a scrap as well. Otis Lawrence has come to join them as they make their way through the fog exterior of this Bahrain circuit. They squeeze Otis Lawrence now. Does Thomas Ronnar, as now they all come out of the pit lane. Where are they going to be coming out now? Of course, we've got Burman now making his way out onto the track, and the Alphas have got them here, Jack. But look at this, that's not the story, because Otis Lawrence is scrapping with them. He's banging wheels there with Brendan Lee and Thomas Ronnar. This is on-site bullying now between the Alfa Romeos and the Red Bull as they now come through turn 4 now, side by side, 3 wide through the slalom. No chance, but it is Brendan Lee as their Ronnar goes side by side with Lawrence. They spun! Oh my goodness me!
Does this remind you of last season at all?
It does.
This is exactly what happened last season, but it ends in Ronar facing the wrong way. Otis Lawrence and Thomas Ronar have collided, and Ronar falls down the order. But look now, Blakely, where does he come out? He's got to be fighting with Borman here. It's going to be super tight. Where does he slot in towards turn 1? He's got Borman just in front. Rasmussen on his outside as well through turn 2. He won't have the tire temperature, but he just hangs on for the moment. Down towards turn 4 they come again, fighting super hard. Blakely has managed to just slot in between. There wasn't even a gap there, and he managed to get himself in between. But that has now brought Freddie Rasmussen into the fight for a podium somehow. And we haven't even talked about the man who's currently leading the race, Jarno Watmir. He's continued out on the hards. He didn't go with anybody else. He's decided to stay out. Mercedes thinking about something else here. They want tyre life towards the end as Blakely and Boremand now fighting each other. Blakely making the move on Boremand. Through he goes into what is net P2. These guys, they need to work together. They know each other very well, but they know that they need to work together to catch up to Brendan Lee because Brendan has got basically no ERS. They've got to close that gap as there's continued to be more scrapping, hard scrapping further down between Donoso and Wilson Hughes. And it'll now be the medium tyres for Danny Beresne as they cross the line, and there goes Blakely, takes the net race lead away from Brendan Lee.
Yeah, it certainly does. He's managed to gain on the two-time champion and make the move, execute now. And last year's champion, the current F1 Esports champion now, the net leader of this race now here, P4 as a whole now as Donoso coming together this time with Nicholas Longue, makes his way through towards turn 4. Donoso securing that position in P9 as well as he looks to try and climb and chase after Alvaro Caraton here.
And in comes Jarno Watmir then from the race lead, keeping an eye on those tyre compounds. What is he going to go with? He's going to go for the mediums, not going to go softs, but he will have the freshest tyres of anybody on the grid. And if only for that 3-second penalty, but Dylan Warren is on a massive drive here today.
He certainly is. Jarno Watmir also on a massive drive, tries to beat Parshanaka Clay. This is for points. There's Clay. Very soon you'll see one solitary Dutchman on his inside now. Look at the rear, look at the mirror on the right-hand side. Jarno throwing it in at turn 4 as they come together, heading through now towards turn 5, 6 and 7. It's Jarno Watmir now, up into P9, charging up through the points, makes his way through, now giving chase to that of Nicholas Longue. It's not over, folks.
No, I think Jarno's still got a chance at P5 here. He's got a charge on Nicholas Longue. Longue does not fight him, lets him through on that inside. It's P8 for Jarno Watmir now.
Yeah, Rasmussen and Watmir as they come down through towards turn 4 out of turn 3. There they are now, soon to be coming through the slalom section. Rasmussen got it wrong. Watmir goes through. He's up to 6.
Yeah, this is not out of the question. He's got Dylan Warren in front right now. What a drive from young Dylan Warren so far. P5 currently, and he's trying to keep Jarno Watmir behind. Barry Borman is on the struggle bus now. He's got Donoso and Caraton behind him for P3 and P4. But Jarno, this is vintage Jarno Watmir charging back through the field like we've seen so many times. DRS open, nothing Dylan Warren can do, and he's back in P5. This is where he started, P5 for Jarno Watmir. But there's just a few more corners to go. 2 corners left on this circuit now, and Watmir is lining up these guys in front. He's got ERS to burn here. He might have a little go going into the final corner here. This is going to get spicy up towards the front end as well as they head towards the final corner. No one can touch the McLaren of Lucas Blakely, who will exit the final corner as Watmir makes a move on the car in front here. But it is Lucas Blakely who wins the season opener here in Bahrain as they cross the line. Boremand is second, Donoso is third. Watmir just about got Caraton across the line. It's P4 for Jarno Watmir. Alvaro Caraton settles for P5. Brendan Lee P6. Danny Beresne P7. Dylan Warren with the penalty drops to P8. Nicholas Longue P9. And Freddie Rasmussen hangs on for points in P10. Great effort from him. What a Grand Prix, but a dominant display. Lucas Blakely back on form.